Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. And today what we are going to do is we are going to understand one more control statement, and that is loops. In the previous video, we have learned about the control statement, one of the control statement, and that is the if statement. So let me just switch to the board. And in the previous video, if you can remember, we have learned about the control statement, that is the if statement. So the control statements, okay, I will write it again. And what we have learned about the control statement, that was the first one was the if, and then we also learned about the if else and if else, and then we have learned about the if and else, okay, and how exactly this works. Now that we have learned about the conditional statement, that is the if statement, we are going to understand something about loops. And for that, I'm just going to shift this aside. And now let us understand about the loops. Now, what are loops? Loops are basically used to execute a block code n number of times. So suppose we have one, two, three, four. Four lines of code we have, and we want to execute these four lines of code maybe five times. Example, okay, five times. So in that case, we are going to use a loop. So loop is, as I said, is used to execute a block of code n number of times. Okay, so loop, like, it starts from, is like we start from A, take a circle, and again reach to A, and it goes on, right? Maybe for five times, 10 times, depends. Okay, how many times we want it. Now, before we talk more about loops, and we are going to start with the for loop. Now, for loop, we have it in every programming language like C, C++, Java, we have it. But in Python, it works a bit differently. So before we talk more on loops, we are going to understand something about a function which works along with the loop in Python. And that function is the range function. Okay, the range function, and there can be a start value to this, that is the parameter to the function. So start value will be there, end value will be there, and a step value will be there. So it takes the integer values. It maximum it can take three values. Okay, max it can take the three parameters. Okay, now we are going to understand step by step. Now, what exactly is a range function? Range function is basically a generator. Okay, a generator function, you can call it. Now, in future, we are going to learn about the generator function. Okay, but for now, let us just keep it very simple, and it is just a generator function, that is the range function. What it does, it basically generate a series of numbers. So for example, if I say range, okay, and everything is in small case, nothing is capital. Please remember, Python is a case sensitive language. So if I have a variable that is capital A as 5 and this A as 5, so these are two different variables. Okay, because Python is case sensitive. So everything has to be in small case. So I'll have a range function and I will only pass one value, that is 5. Suppose I pass only one value. In that case, this range function by default starts with 0. And it will generate the values 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it. It doesn't go till 5. It will be 1 less than 5. Please remember that. So these are the numbers that this range function is going to generate. Okay. Now let me just shift this aside and we will see more about the range function. So as I said, the range function, so if I give range and bracket open and then a number that is 8 and the bracket close. Please remember, every function has an opening and closing bracket, and those are the circles. Okay, now if I say range 8, so it is going to generate the number 0, 1, 2 till 7. As I said, it will go 1 less than the number specified. And if you specify only one number, that is range 8, by default, it will start from 0. Okay, that was the first case. Now let us just go for the second case. And if we say that is the range, if I give 1, comma 8, now there are two values. So this becomes, okay, the 1 becomes the start value and this becomes the end value. So now over here, it is going to generate from 1, 2, 3 until 7 again. Again, it is going to go 1 less than 8. Please remember that. So over here, I've specified the start value as 1. So it started from 1. In case if I would start with something like this, 3 comma 8. So it is going to generate 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. Okay, these are the numbers it is going to generate. So this becomes the start value. This becomes the end value. Okay, now let us take a fourth case and I'm going to say range. Now if I give 1 comma 10. So if I only give 1 comma 10, it is going to start from 1 and go till 9. But if I specify the third value, that is 2 over here. If I specify 2 over here, now it is going to start from 1 and it will take a jump of a step of 2. So the next value, it will be not 2, but it will be 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. And it is going to go only till 9, 1 less than the 10. So obviously it will come till 10 only. So it is going to take a jump of 2. So 1, so 1 will be, the 2 will be skipped, 4 will be skipped. Okay, over here it's, yeah, 5, right? Okay, it's 5. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. All the odd numbers. Okay, so this is what it is going to generate. Now the same thing, if you want to do it in C, C++ and C, C++ or Java, it's a very different syntax that we have. But over here, it is all depends on the generator. It all depends on the series, and that series, and with that series, the for loop is going to work. Now, let us go further and understand this more, the range function. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a range function. Okay, suppose I want to go from a bigger number to smaller number. So I can specify 10 colon 0. Okay, so what this is going to do? Oh, this will not work. If you want to go from a bigger number to smaller number, so from 10 comma 0, then I have to specify the third value, that is the step value, that is minus 1. So if I specify minus 1, so it will go from 10. So it is going to generate 10, 9, 8, 7 until 1. As I said, it is going to go 1 less. So in this case, we are going in a reverse direction. So it will start from 10 and it will go till 1. Okay, so this is how we can go from a bigger number to smaller number. In that case, remember that the third parameter has to be there, that is minus 2, minus 1. In case if this would have been minus 2, that is 10, comma 0, comma minus 2. So it will obviously start with 10, but it will take a jump of 2, that is 10, then it will take 8, then 6, then 4, and then 2. It will only come till 2. Please understand this. Okay, it will only come till 2 because the end value will be 1, right? And this is 0, so end value, it will start from 0 till 1, but we are taking a jump of 2 in a reverse way. So it will come till 2. So these are the numbers that this range function is going to generate. Okay, so this is how it works. So if you want to go from a bigger number to smaller number, the third parameter has to be there. If you want only by 1, it should take a step of 1. So just specify minus 1. And if you specify something bigger number, then that steps will be taken, that numbers will be skipped. Now, I hope that the range function is very much clear, because when we start with a for loop works with a sequence. Okay, the for loop works with a sequence in a Python, sequence data type or a range function. If you remember in the one of the previous video, I have told about the sequence data type. So basically, what are the data types? Again, I'm going to tell you these are the simple numbers, and numbers can be integer, float, and complex number. Then what we have is strings, right? Then what we have is list, right? List. Then we have is the dictionary, right? The dictionary. And we have tuple, right? And then we have sets. Okay, out of all these, the string, list, tuple, and list, these are the sequence data type. Sequence data type means they basically go in a sequence. Okay, and there are index values. So we're going to talk more about that. Do not worry. Okay, so these are sequence data type. So I can for a for loop, I can have this string, list, tuples, and set. But right now, in this video, we are only going to work with this range function. And in most cases, we'll be working with the range function. Okay, so now let me just shift this aside, and now let us start with the for loop. So how does a for loop look like? So there is a keyword that is for. This is the same for that we have it in C, C++, and Java, the same keyword. Over here also we have for, which is a keyword for, and then I can specify a variable name. So variable name can be any name. Most probably, it is a standard that has been used around the world. Then normally we use the variable that is I, J, K. These are the variables that normally we use for loops. But we can give any variable name, A, B, C, anything. Okay. So for, then the variable name, and then followed by the in operator. And what is this in operator? If you can remember, this is the membership operator. The membership operator. And then comes the range function. And if I only specify 5, and then followed by the colon, this is also very, very important. Okay, so this is the syntax for the variable name, in operator, space, the range function, and then end it with a colon. It is the same that we use it for the if statement. And the moment you press enter, a block code is going to start, right? So there will be a space, there will be a tab space. So that tab space, like over here, the tab space specifies that these statements, these are the 4 statements. So these statements comes inside this loop. And if I just draw this line over here just to show the alignment, and if I type anything over here like a print statement, any message over here, so this print statement is outside this for loop. What's inside is by that indentation. Okay, this is that gap, the space, the 4 spaces that it has taken, that is the indentation. So whatever you type over here will be inside the loop. Okay, we do not have the curly brackets, please remember that. And as a beginner, you get confused with this indentation, but as you practice, it's very simple to understand. Okay, now we will just take a example, the same example, and I'm going to have a for loop for I in range, and I have a specify 5 colon, and I simply say print I. So what is going to happen over here? This range function, as I told you, it is 5, so it is going to generate 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I is going to get this value, first value, that is 0. So on the screen, it will print 0. Since this is a print statement, by default, the cursor will come to the next line. And then from here, once it prints, again, it jumps up and it is going to take all the series number. The next value is 1. And then it is going to come inside and print 1. Then again, it jumps up the controller and takes the next value, that is 2. So it is going to print 2, 3, and 4. Since all the series, the numbers in the series are done, this loop gets over. Okay, only when it takes all the numbers, the loop gets over. Now over here, there is only one print statement inside the loop, but had it been more statements, all the statements will get executed 5 times, 0 to 4. Now this 0 to 4, when I say 5, so these are total 0 to 4. So we can say that this particular loop has 5 iterations. Okay, iterations means how many times the loop is going. 5 times the loop is going to go, so that is 5 iterations. Please remember, from 0 to 4. Had it been some another function, I mean the another range, so that is range 1, 1 comma 5, that's 1 comma 5. So if I say print I, so this time it is going to start with 1. It will print 1 because I is going to take the first value, that is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, right? Only 4 iterations, please remember. And it's not like I have to take that I just want that iteration, so I can do it this way also. For example, I take a for loop for I in range and I say 5, and I simply say print hello. Right. So what is going to happen? How many iterations this particular function, this particular loop has? 5 iterations, right? And I will be, the value of I will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm not using that inside. I'm just printing hello. So what is going to happen on the screen? Hello will be printed 5 times like this. Okay. One more, and the last, that is 5. So 5 times hello will be printed on the screen. So I hope that this video and whatever I have taught you was very much useful to you. In case if you really want to quickly want to see how it works with the VS code, we can switch to the VS code and we can execute it. Okay, so if I say for I in range, and if I say 5 followed by the colon, and the moment you press enter, you can see that it has taken that indentation, the one tab space, right? And if I say print I and I run this, you can see the output, that is 0 to 4, as I told you. So this range function has generated value 0 to 4. I will take the first value 0, it will print it, then the second, then the third, and so on. And the second example that I took, that is 1 comma 5. And over here also you can see it is now starting from 1 go till, it will go till 4. So only 4 iterations are there, right? You can also try the from the bigger number to smaller number. So if I say 10 colon 1 or 0, and then since I'm going from a bigger number to smaller number, I need to specify the start, end, and the step, that is -1. Okay, -1, and you can see that it is going to generate. It has generated number from 10. Okay, you can see it's 10, 9, 8, until 1. It has generated the values. Had it been -2, so it will take a jump of 2. So it will see it's 10, then 8, as you can see at the bottom, then we have 4, and then we have 2. So these are the numbers that the range function generates, and then this is how the for loop works with the generator function, that is the range function. But as I told you, it works with the sequence data type also. So for loop will also work with the string, with a list, with the tuple, and with sets as well. And that we are going to see it in future video. So I hope that everything is clear. At least I've just started with the for loop and we have understood the range function. Just it requires practice. The indentation, to understand that indentation also, it requires practice. So keep on practicing and keep on coding. Thank you so much.